All right, welcome everyone. Today is the day, Dr. Colfax. Today's the day. It's the day that our kids get back to the serious business of play. And so I'm thrilled to be here with our mayor, Supervisor Safaí, our director of public health, and many community leaders and wonderful people to celebrate the reopening of playgrounds all across the city, starting right now. We are here at Merced Heights, so we're not just opening the gates to playgrounds, we're also cutting ribbons on 5 amazing playgrounds that have just been waiting for children, that have been renovated through the Let's Play SF initiative, which is an incredible partnership between the Recreation and Park Department, the San Francisco Parks Alliance, San Francisco voters who support park bonds. Through Let's Play SF, we're actually transforming 13 playgrounds that have been loved to death across our city into creative places that spark imagination, connection, and healthy bodies and minds. So, without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce our Parks Champion-in-Chief, who has been a great nudge to make this happen. Thank you, Mayor.
And thank you, Phil, and thank you to all the families in San Francisco for your understanding and your patience as we deal with a very, very challenging time, one that none of us could have ever predicted. And I'm so excited to be here at Merced Heights because I know how hard this community worked to get this park to be a priority. For so many years, I see Mary Harris over there shaking her head hard. For so many years, Gwen Brown, Mary Harris, Cheryl, a lot of the people in this community, they have been fighting to make sure that this part of town received the support and the attention it deserved. There are families here. There are generations of kids growing up in this neighborhood, in this community, and they deserved the opportunity to make sure that we rebuild the library, which your supervisor is pushing for, that we rebuild the parks and all of the other amenities that make life so great in San Francisco. And here we are, because I'll tell you, Supervisor, not too long ago, I know we came here, we cut the ribbon, or we broke the ground, and this happened really fast. This is pretty amazing in bureaucratic time to make a park like this happen, and it is absolutely beautiful. It is so amazing, and I am so happy that today, finally, kids will be able to play in playgrounds all over San Francisco. This is amazing, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm so happy, because it is hard for children right now. You know, our private schools have opened, our public schools haven't. Kids are not in school, they're in front of a screen on a regular basis, and that is not good for them. We know it's not good for them. It's why I've been putting, of course, as much pressure as I can on the public to do our part, to wear our masks, to wash our hands, to socially distance ourselves. And as much as we want to be around each other, we have to make sacrifices for our children, so that they can go back to school, so that they can play in playgrounds, so that they can have a well-rounded life. Because just imagine how, this is hard on us as adults. Just imagine how much harder it is on kids, how tough it is, and how we are seeing even now, even though we're providing devices and internet and other resources to kids, the achievement gap is still growing wide. So we have a lot of work to do. And that's why today is so amazing and it's so exciting. Because it's not just that we're opening all of these playgrounds. We have renovated a number of playgrounds in San Francisco. And so kids are going to have an opportunity to just enjoy something new and exciting in the city. I am, Phil, I'm excited. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to the Parks Alliance and the Let's Play initiative and all of the friends of Merced Heights. You'll be hearing from some community members here today, because this work happened because of this community. This work happened because you had an incredible leader in Supervisor Ahsha Safaí. So with strong leadership, with strong community support, with collaboration, and with decades of advocacy, you have made something incredible happen for the kids of this community, for the kids who are part of this learning hub, who are hoping this press conference is over as quick as possible so they can come and play in this playground. In fact, it won't bother me if they play in the playground during this press conference. Just let them have a good time, because that's where we are now. And what this also does is it gives us hope. It gives us hope that the time that we've spent in isolation, the time we spent, doing what we needed to do during this pandemic, we know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We know that good things can happen if we all do our part. And so I really, really, really want to thank all of you so much for being here, so much for continuing to support our parks and the bonds that the voters have always voted to support, because that's how this happens. It is amazing. It's a beautiful day. And Supervisor, you should be so proud of what you've been able to accomplish for this community, unlike never before. And we are so grateful for your strong advocacy and leadership. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce the District 11 Supervisor, Supervisor Ahsha Safaí.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This day is super special. I'll just say that. When I first started working in this community, the mantra was, why are we always treated like the forgotten part of San Francisco? Why are we not getting our fair share? Why are the working people, why are the hard-working people that get up and make this city run every day treated like this? And if you saw this playground, if you saw this fence, right, Phil? It looked like a prison yard fence. It looked like something that you would never want to bring your family to. Same thing over at Merced Heights Playground, which is open, Alice Chalmers, which is open today. Funders used to ride by that to say, look how awful this park is. Will you please give us money to our city? Because right down the street was Daly City and it was shining. But I can say with full confidence that this community fought hard. This community advocated and never gave up. I want to give a special shout out to Renard Monroe. He has been working here tirelessly on a little island by himself, using every little resource he has, going into his own pockets often to make sure this community had something. I want to thank Miss Wilma Gardner. She couldn't join us today. She lives right across the street there and said, I want to see this park rebuilt before I die. That's what she told me when I met her years ago. And I'm sorry she couldn't be here today. There's a lot of people that couldn't actually physically be here, but all their blood, sweat, and tears went into this. I want to thank Phil Ginsburg and his staff. They have made a commitment to ensuring that the neighborhoods that have the most children, like ours, under the age of 18, get their fair share, and all their hardworking staff. And I want to especially thank Miss Mayor, Madam London Breed, because every single thing, now don't get jealous, other supervisors, every single thing that I have brought to her to talk about this community, she has said yes. When we asked her for a new library, she said yes. When we asked her for a new job center, she funded that. We opened that up a year ago to this day. When we said 3 years ago, not recently, but 3 years ago, when we said the African American community is hurting, she said, Ahsha, you don't need to tell me. I know. And I said, we're investing in Black Lakeview. She said yes. So this is just one big step forward. I want to thank all the people that have been involved in this, all the people that have dedicated themselves to this, and to all the children and families that will enjoy this for many, many years to come. This is a new day in District 11. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor Safaí. I'm the mayor, and the supervisor, eloquently articulated the importance of this moment. Playgrounds are happy, they're joyous, but for children and their development, their social emotional development, their ability to problem solve, their ability to take risks, their ability to share and to collaborate. This is really serious stuff to get kids back on our playgrounds again. And I think the mayor said it. Kids have taken it on the chin a little bit during this pandemic, let's be honest. And I'm really grateful to the mayor and to Supervisor Safaí and the community for screaming out on behalf of our children. We have to now do the right thing. Playgrounds are open. We need to keep our kids safe. We need to keep our families safe. So please, yes, there are rules. There are capacity limits. There are, we're supposed to continue to social distance, continue to wear a mask, right? Do not eat and drink in these spaces. Let's all do the right thing so that our children and San Francisco families can be healthy. The last point I want to make before bringing up our next speaker. Yes, thank you, Mayor. Okay, do not, if you are a parent, when you bring your kid to a playground, do not do this. Pay attention, no cell phones. Pay attention to where your kids are and how they're engaging on these spaces. Again, the goal here is only to allow our kids the freedom to play and to do it in a healthy way. One last point, which is this should be a reminder, as both the mayor and Supervisor Safaí mentioned, about the importance of investing in our parks. San Francisco has the best park system in the United States of America. It is 150 years old, but we have to continue to invest in it, continue to nurture it, so that we no longer have fences that look like jails and playgrounds that aren't deserving of the children who use them. So I want to thank all San Francisco voters for supporting the 2012 Clean and Safe Neighborhood Parks Bond, without which we would not be here today. Our most important partner in all this are our friends at the Department of Public Health, who have as tough a job as anybody right now in trying to figure out how to allow us to safely resume some sense of normalcy. And I am incredibly grateful to Dr. Colfax and Dr. Aragon and their team for working with us and truly understanding the importance and the urgency of opening up playgrounds. So, Dr. Colfax, the mic is yours.
Well, thank you, Director Ginsburg, and really to acknowledge our gratitude to Mayor Breed, Supervisor Safaí, Director Sue, and Mr. Robert Ellis for their leadership in this work. And you know, there have been so many challenging days during this pandemic and so many sad days. And this is such a day of gratitude and beauty. Look at it out here and listen to the kids playing. This is a pivotal moment as we work together to slow the spread of COVID and realize that our children must go back to doing the things that we know are important for their health and their family's health and the community's health. The reopening of our playgrounds is an opportunity to get our kids back, something that we haven't done since March. Incredible. We at the Health Department are so happy to be here as we've worked to get San Francisco to this place, to back to where kids can get an environment where they can thrive, starting with school programs, community hubs, elementary schools, step by step, and now playgrounds. And we have made tremendous progress as a city. And we know that the sacrifice and dedications of our families and our communities have made the contributions that have succeeded in slowing the spread of COVID-19 virus. And I thank you, we thank you. And we want all of our children, to continue to enjoy the reopening of activities. And so parents, we need your help in ensuring that we open playgrounds as safely as possible. When visiting playgrounds, please be sure your family follows the health and safety rules for playground visitors. Prepare your family for less children and for socially distanced fun. And I wouldn't be doing my job, you know what comes next, if I wouldn't remind people to please wear face coverings. They are required for all playground visitors age 2 and over. Please limit your stay to 30 minutes when other households are present so that other people can also enjoy the playground. and please practice that good hygiene. And although playgrounds are outdoors, we still want to be cautious. We need everyone's help in sustaining our gains and the progress that we've made. So let's have fun today. Let's take advantage of these beautiful seasonal days that we have in San Francisco. And again, thank you, Mayor Breed, Supervisor Safaí, and Director Ginsburg for your partnership and work. And everyone, let's continue to play it safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Colfax. So we're now going to hear from two important community members that have fought for children and for families in this neighborhood. Our first speaker, Renard Monroe, the Executive Director of Youth First. Dude, you've been amazing. Thank you for your partnership in our Community Hub program. I want to acknowledge Executive Director of DCYF, Dr. Maria Sue, my partner in crime on all things kids and families. But Renard, you are running a model program, and you're doing it for kids who really need the support. And we're so grateful to you for your help in keeping these spaces safe and clean. Please come up and say a few words.
Good afternoon. This is a bittersweet moment for us as a community because there's some people before Renard that really put in some hard work to make sure that we have this space for the children in our community. And I need to acknowledge a few people who didn't make it to see this day. Our neighbor, she lived right there. Her name was Karen McCoy. And she fought. And I know she had Phil's number on speed dial trying to get this place renovated. She didn't make it to see it. She passed away. And I'm very thankful for her and her daughter. They both passed away. They fought for this park, and I'm appreciative for that. Dolores Ball, who's also a resident, fought for this park. Mary Harris, Al Harris. Okay, a lot of people put in, Wilma Gardner, a lot of people in this community have been fighting and trying to make sure that this community gets what it needs. And I'm just happy to be a part of the process, and I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for this day. I'm thankful for our mayor to allocate the funds. And Phil Ginsburg, he's been awesome. It's been awesome, and I appreciate you. He comes out, the first day they put this together, he went down the slide with the kids and impressed the kids. It's just one of those things where San Francisco is supposed to be about community. And these type of events are so important, especially in the times that we're living in the COVID-19. I definitely want to thank our supervisor, Ahsha Safaí, for all of his hard work and pushing for our district to make sure that we can have spaces like this. I also want to thank our community as a whole, first and foremost. Our residents right here, up and down the street, using this park every day. We're so happy to have it back open, to have our kids back playing safely in an environment, and something to be proud of. I'm proud of our district. I'm proud of where we're going. Okay, we have organizations and CBOs who are really making a push for this district to get the resources allocated here. Invest Black. All of the things that we are doing is to make sure that the community gets what it needs and to make sure that our children have a future. So thank you.
Thank you, Renard. So another community leader that definitely had my phone number on speed dial, my phone number, my email, my Twitter, my Telegraph handle, was Edna James. And Edna couldn't be here today, but she has asked one of her closest community partners to come up and say a few words, Robert Ellis. Robert is the Vice President of the OMI Community Action Organization and a member of the Friends of Merced Heights Playgrounds, and to say a few words about the power of community when it comes to getting things done. Robert, the microphone is yours.
I wish I had been first, because all of these accolades has been handed out is well deserving. And I want to thank our Mayor Breed for all of her dedication to the city. Not only is she smart, she's pretty. So So that's a good thing. So like I say, I want to thank Phil definitely for, if you stand here and look around, you can see the transformation of this park, and the future is still bright. I've lived here on Bixby Street for the last 50 plus years, and I've seen the park deteriorate, and now it's like a phoenix rising from the sun. So you see, it's bringing a whole new atmosphere to the community, not only for the children, it's also for the adults and the aging, for everybody in the community and the city. And I'm certainly glad to be a part of it. And I want to not apologize, but I want to give my regrets that Ms. James, Mr. Phil's documented partner, was unable to be here today. So I want to thank everyone that invited me, and Phil and his staff. Phil, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep up the good work, and God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, just a few quick acknowledgments, and then we're going to wrap up. And if there are any questions, you've got a few people here who might be able to answer them. Just a couple of questions. But I really want to acknowledge Drew Becker, the CEO of the San Francisco Parks Alliance. Without the San Francisco Parks Alliance, make no mistake, we would not be renovating or ribbon cutting 5 new playgrounds. Their partnership has been invaluable. They lead with their heart. They care about parks. Thank you, Drew, and thank you, San Francisco Parks Alliance. And then last, to my own team, Lisa Branston, the captain of the Rec and Park Let's Play SF program. Lisa, thank you for all you've done to bring private resources to help supplement what the voters have done to allow us to renovate these playgrounds. To our park section supervisor, Brandon Young, who was here bright and early, Mayor, making sure this place looked super clean. So thank you, Brandon, for being here. To Dan Maurer, our project manager for this particular project, and to all the Rec and Park staff who really had to hustle to make sure you see these markings on the ground, you see all the signs. In the last 36 hours, we have put out maybe 750 signs and have marked playgrounds, and my staff always rises to the occasion. So big shout out to the Rec and Park staff, and let's let them play. Thanks, everyone.